Welcome back to Real Sports Talk. I'm your host, Run It Up Rue, and today we talking Dallas Cowboys therapy session, plus our head coaching vacancy. Right? Do we really need more of Kellen Moore? Are we getting the best coach available, or are we getting the best coach suited for the job? Is an offensive-minded head coach really the answer? And will Jerry do anything to save face with the nation? Because we out here looking bad right now. We're going to talk about all that and more, plus the debacle that these jokers is in the NFC Championship game, and we not. We're going to talk about all that right after this. Let's go. The Washington Commanders and the Philadelphia Eagles are in the NFC Championship game. What the fuck? I can't make that up. I can't make that up. Let me say that one more time for people who's just walking in. The Philadelphia Eagles and the Washington Commanders are in the NFC Championship game this Sunday. And we not dreaming. We not dreaming. The Washington Commanders, I can't call it luck. I'm not going to call it luck. There will be no disrespect or slander on this video today. Not this one. Not towards the Philadelphia Eagles, not towards the Washington Commanders. There will not be any disrespect shown from me today. Not today. I'm jealous if I had to keep it real with y'all. I'm jealous. They have an organization that has shown when you step back and allow people to do their jobs, shit get done. It's not a miracle that the Philadelphia Eagles are back in the NFC Championship game. It's not a miracle. Okay, for any Dallas Cowboys fan right now who may be watching this video, and once again, thanks for anybody who's tuning in. I'm still on the hunt for 100 subscribers, right? But for anybody who's tuning into this video right now, I don't want you to think that there was any miracle involved in what's going on in Philadelphia or in Washington right now. There's no miracle, okay? We all knew who Dan Quinn was as far as a motivator. We all know who Dan Quinn is. We all know, okay? They have a brand new organization, fresh out the box. New car smell, new baby, fresh out the box. And they back in the NFC, and they in the NFC. I said back. They in the NFC Championship game. New owner, new general manager, new head coach, new OC, new DC, and a list of new players on the roster. Shout out to the players on the roster. 7 of them came from our squad last year. 7 of them. Dante Fowler, Dorrance Armstrong, Tyler Biadasz, Noah Brown, who we all disrespected. Yeah, we remember what he did in the fourth quarter, right? Final play, Hail Mary. We know about that. And Noah Igbenogany. Ugh. He couldn't even get on the field for us. We was calling him trash. Have him. He's out there playing quality minutes. Quality minutes. You see what happens when politics don't get involved out there? You see what happens when politics don't get involved? When you allow coaches to do exactly what they brought in to do? Coach, Shit like that happened, right? There's no miracle with none of these players. None of them. We all knew Dante Flower could sack the quarterback. We all know that. We all know that. He didn't get enough tick here. We were saying that. See, Dan Quinn, he's no genius. He worked with these guys. He's seen them in practice. He knew where the dogs lied, right? As soon as he got his chance, he made some calls. And guess what? They answered. Shit, we almost lost Al Harris. We had to pay him some money. We had to block that. Shouts out to Al Harris because he's a hell of a coach. He's a hell of a coach, but we should have never let Dan Quinn go. You know, now that Mike's out the door, a lot of shit is coming out, right? Mike was insecure about a lot of people in that organization. A lot, not just Dan Quinn. See, we thought Jerry had a problem with Amari Cooper. You remember that debacle? Right? No, come to find out, Mike McCarthy is the one who was insecure. Mike McCarthy is the reason why we shipped him out for a 5th-round pick after just using a 1st-round pick to attain him. Like, let's be for real here. We're not about to sit here and call it a miracle. We're not just going to sit here and act like Jerry don't always want to throw the cap in our face as to why we can't build an organization the right way, why we can't pay guys when they need to be paid. When's the last time we got ahead of a deal if the player wasn't hurt? When's the last time we got ahead of a deal if the player wasn't hurt? It was like 3 times we told Dak, prove it. 3 times in his face, prove it. What'd he do? Proved it. You waste a 4th-round pick to bring in Trey Lance to somewhat bring a quarterback competition and was easily dismissed. Egg on the face once again. And just to turn around and do what? Pay the man. So now you just hindered us in a draft by giving away our 4th-round pick. And guess what? You turned around and did it again this offseason. I mean, the season was already over, and then you're gonna make a trade to Carolina for a wide receiver. Knowing how we get busy with them 4th-round picks. You're going to give it away yet again. Now we got to sit like 70-odd picks before we get our pick again. Once again, new ownership, new GM, new head coach, new roster, and are in the NFC Championship game. And yet we sit here in front of and listen to these guys tell us how we can't pay our guys on time. How by paying Dak, our roster now is going to be such then. When in Philly, they done paid Jalen Hurts is only making like $5 million less than Dak. They done paid A.J. Brown, paid Smitty, Devontae Smith. They paying the offensive line. And the hell, they brought in Saquon Barkley at top shelf. Not no deal. Top shelf. And yet we get told that we can't pay Dak and put a roster together. You wonder why we can't put no fucking roster together? Because we got a fucking 80-year-old man running the shit. That's why. Won't give it up. And if you think I don't think Steven is part of that, you're bullshitting yourself. Excuse my cursing. Excuse all that. But I'm ticked off. I'm pissed off. They done went through 30-something damn quarterbacks over there in Washington to finally land on Plymouth Rock. And guess what? Motherfucking Plymouth Rock hit them. Plymouth Rock hit them. Jaden Daniels is a guy. He's not going nowhere. Now, shouts out to Dak. I love Dak. I do. But over the years, I'd be lying if I say he hasn't let me down. And then going into this new season, if I'm not concerned about his injury history, finally catching up to him, we only get older. We only get older. You feel what I'm saying? Look, I'm a realist. I'm a Dallas Cowboys fan to the fullest. All right? I'm a Dallas Cowboys fan to the fullest. And let me tell you, the shit that's going on right now, it don't need to happen. If Jerry would just back up. Just back up. Allow people to do their job. Give somebody else the reins. We're about to lose our and Will McClay. We're about to lose him soon. The guy is just not going to, he's just not going to sit in the background forever. The report is that he's only been here because his kid was in school and all that. They fit to graduate, about to move on and live their life, and so will Daddy. Okay, if he wasn't here, I would hate to know where the fuck our team would be, because Jerry is not at no goddamn. He is not no evaluator of talent, right? He can't be. He's outdated. We have done this shit for years on top of years. It's time for this man to back the hell up. Okay, because never in my 30-something years of living have I, since been a fan of this team, have I been in this place. I mean, I'm starting this channel right now. I've been a fan of content for a long time. I always thought that I wanted to do it. But going through this season, I just said I needed a place to vent. I needed somewhere where I could go and talk my shit and hopes to, build rapport with other content creators and the fans of content creators. You know what I'm saying? To let y'all know that y'all not alone in this shit, man. I'm over here stressed the fuck out too. I'm over here stressed out too. And in no time do I ever say, let me click this video. Do I want to sit up here and start cussing like that? But when I start talking about Jerry Jones, man, I just lose it. I just lose it. I'm tired of it, because to me, I look at this man and I see absolutely zero hope. It doesn't matter who you bring in as head coach. It does not matter. It does not matter who you bring in as head coach. I'm just done. I'm tired of doing it your way. And now he's becoming more blatant in what he says to the media. It's to your face. I mean, there was one video that had absolutely nothing to do with what I'm about to say, that they were talking to Jerry Jones. I forget what the conversation was about, but what he said at the very end, oh my God, did anybody catch that? This man said, and he plans on living a long time. And to me was like, whoa, nigga, like, hold on, man. Was that, whoa, was that a threat? Pardon my language. Was that a threat? Whoa, because I'm not sitting here wishing ill on anyone, right? But I don't know, when are you going to give up the reins? And it's looking like when it's out of your control. So, with that being said, I need Jerry to back up. I need Jerry to allow himself to reap the benefits of all that he has built, right? Because as an owner, I appreciate Jerry. As an owner, I somewhat like Jerry. No, as an owner, I do like Jerry. The reason why it's blurred for me is because he himself has not set church and state. You don't know who you're getting. Sometimes owner Jerry is talking when it should be GM Jerry. I don't even think GM Jerry has a louder voice than owner Jerry. And that's what's scary, right? Because when you look at our team, when you look at the major problems, it's not on the field. Yes, that has a lot to do with it. But to start it off, Washington, in my opinion, the Commanders are not in the position that they are. If the ownership did not come in with the mindset that they had and a clear vision for what they wanted to see, and then allowed the people that they put in place to implement that vision. If I ask the Washington Commanders fan, who are they? What is their identity? They can easily tell you that. If I ask the Cowboys fan the same question, you could not answer that. And that in itself is a problem. That in itself is a problem because what breeds from that is disastrous. Okay? Because now you have young players forced into leadership roles who are not built and are not ready for those roles. And actually, it's to a detriment, right? The reason why certain organizations are able to stay above all that BS is because they know and value veterans in the locker room, people who have been there before, not only players, but in the coaching staff. So players can go and lean on those players, lean on that coach. Understand that today is not a prerequisite for what tomorrow will be, right? We can get better. We can get better. The first loss to the San Francisco 49ers, okay, we could have grown from that. Had we had veterans in place, you would not have had Micah Parsons talking about he didn't realize that it was so serious to the 49ers that, oh, okay, we gonna show them next time, right? That would not have been the case, okay? Because it wouldn't even have been his mindset. Vet would have had him like, yo, going into the locker room, we coming back from this. I was just watching Law Nation. Shout out to Law Nation. Shout out to Law Nation, does great content for the Dallas Cowboys community. One of the veterans, goats of goats, right? Shouts out to Law. I was watching his video the other day, and he had a clip of Ray Lewis in the locker room after I believe it was either a divisional conference, divisional or conference championship game. It was after one of those losses in the locker room. And his message to his men was that, one, there's so much, life is so much bigger than this game, that when you fall down, you have an opportunity to get yourself back up, build yourself back up to be even better, come back even better, right? And we all know the kind of motivator that Ray Lewis is. And I'm sure he's still that same kind of motivator to this day. We need vets in the locker room. It's so much more than what happens on the field. You know, because a rose can grow from the concrete. You can show somebody the way. And 9 times out of 10, these new players are receptive to the messaging because the last thing what they want to do is fail. But too many times in this organization, we force our rookies to be vets. Not only give us veteran play, but give us veteran mindset and leadership. That's just not how it goes. Micah Parsons is still a young man. Forgive me if I'm wrong on his age, but I believe he's like 23. He's still a young man. When he gets off, he thinks about other things. His mind is set to talk about other things. He has a podcast. He's willing and able and wants to talk about other people. He wants to talk about the game. He loves the game. I get that. That is not, as for the older generation of the Dallas Cowboys, that's not where we're used to. We're used to believing that in the offseason, our players are locked in training. They don't even go on vacation. But that's not the case for these players nowadays. So that just reinforces what I'm saying, that it is important to have veterans in the locker room. So Jerry has to be able to separate owner from GM. Once again, I love Jerry, the owner. Smart guy, great businessman, marketing genius. But as GM, questionable at best. Questionable at best. This team needs to find an identity and then lean on that identity. I don't know who we are. I don't know who we are. And Jerry, when we get this new coaching staff in place, it's vitally important that you stop backdooring the coaching staff. Stop giving interviews outside the locker room after a win or a loss. It does not matter. Not only as fans do we do not care what you think, but we also don't need other organizations to get a temp on how you are feeling about your own. You don't see any other GM. You don't see any other owner. There is a reason why to that. Okay, if you have been able to show that you were able to win while doing these things, other teams would do it. But you have not been able to show that. You have not been able to show that. So I need you to focus up, Jerry, and listen to me. Stop backdooring your head coaches and allow them to be the end all, be all when it comes to their locker room. If there's a problem, we got to go to coach. Coach will go upstairs to Jerry. Jerry, you already have a meeting with him once a week. You can get your message across without us knowing about it. You can let people know how you feel without letting everybody else know about it. These things can be done. Bargain bin shopping, Jerry. Can we stop that? Price is Right, Jerry. Can we stop that? Okay? Can we stop that? There's a reason why you can get that. You can't lean on them. You shouldn't lean on them. Stop it. We can't do it no more. Stop it. Go out there and actually get some guys. Get some veterans in key positions. Bring competition back. Bring competition back. The reason why I'm putting this all on Jerry is because Jerry has not been able to separate himself from, he has hands on with everything. He is not allowing coaches to coach. And since he wants to pick the players too, who else am I supposed to blame? You can't blame anybody else. You can't blame the coach. He is who he's getting. He may have a say, obviously, because Jerry allowed fucking Schoonmaker to be picked in the second round. So obviously the coach has a say, right? But at the end of the day, my guy, I need you to reinforce what we do in the draft with people in free agency. I need you to get out there. And you know what's really sick is to know that your team is the richest team in the league, to know that your coaching staff is one of the least paid in the league. We always fighting players on what they're going to get paid, regardless if they're with us or not, regardless if we want to pay them or not. You still ended up paying them, Jerry. When's the last time you won a deal, Jerry? When's the last time you made a good deal, Jerry? When's the last time you fleeced someone, Jerry? Coming out here telling me that the best deal is when they call you. When? On the rotary phone? It's not ringing no more, Jerry. It's not ringing. Nobody's calling, Jerry. Nobody. They're signing. They're too busy signing. They're not calling you, Jerry. Oh, I got to get into the Dallas Cowboys. That's where my career really... No, the fuck it won't. Ask why we didn't pick up, why we didn't go after Derrick Henry. First, he go and start off by trying to say, our philosophy on, Then you couldn't say you couldn't pay him. Bullshit. You could pay him. You could have paid him. You could have paid him, Jerry. You can pay anybody you want, Jerry. Stop it. Stop it. The Philadelphia Eagles have manipulated and worked around the damn salary cap. They're not the only one, Jerry. LA Rams, just in the playoffs again. Did anybody even think they was going to make it there? No, they won their first fucking game, though. Let's be honest with ourselves. Let's be honest with ourselves. The shit's not getting any better. 30-something years. I'm fucking sick of it. Last season, I said I wasn't spending any money on this team. I ended up in week 3 in Dallas to see the Baltimore Ravens. That's my second squad. Shout out to them. Yeah, I got a second squad. Hell, as a Dallas Cowboys fan, you know after a certain point, and guess what? They letting me down too. I got to stay on point. We need to bring actual competition to key positions. We need to draft a quarterback. While we have Dak on these last 3 to 4 years, can we get a quarterback in there to develop him? Let's not throw the motherfucker out. Just fuck. Jerry, who, and that's what I don't feel any better when his son is going to take over. I have zero faith in it, absolutely zero faith in it whatsoever that it'll get better. Zero faith in it. My only hope is that he don't even really love the shit. And I'll tell you one other thing that gives me hope. And this I'm really, really leaning on. I'm really, really leaning on this right here. Okay. And I'm praying that the kids, not just Steven, that the kids want to sell. Steven included. Jerry built what's going on, not Steven. Will Steven want to sit back and answer for everything that's happening right now? We're blaming Jerry, but I believe Steven has a lot more hands-on than just what Jerry's willing to give him credit for. Steven does not mind. If you look at Steven's temperament, it's not Jerry. Jerry is a salesman. Jerry could talk he can make it sound real good. Even when you have questions, to say the least, Jerry could be like, all right, fuck, we back, baby. Super Bowl window open. Steven, I don't know if he could sell it like that. Jerry has been able to be a GM and keep that title because Jerry is one of those guys is going to do what he wants regardless. And if my last name was Jones, Dad, do your thing. But my last name ain't Jones, and I'm probably sure yours ain't either. And we sick of that shit. We know the Cowboys is not going down to us. It's not being passed down to us. So we don't have the same skin in the game. Right? I think Steven is comfortable in his position. I think he's comfortable letting his dad be the face. What happens when Jerry is no longer the face? When answers are needed and required. Will Steven have that temperament? That I don't care temperament? I'm a Jones, I'm going to do what I want temperament? I doubt that. I seriously doubt that. Now, what's Will and Steven's conversation when Jerry ain't around? What is Will and Steven's conversation when Jerry's not around? Because I know Will want that title. I know Will wants to be able to say, I did that. I assembled that. It was my job. I did that. Will Steven let him walk out the door? Somebody he's already well acquainted with, somebody who already knows the ins and outs of this team, has been doing a hell of a job? That's the question. I don't think a lot of Cowboys fans have thought about it that way, but that is actually the question. How will Steven play it when it's his time? Will he play it the same way? Will he go out there and get a general manager? Those are important questions to ask. Those are important questions to ask. I don't think enough people are asking it. The reporters ain't going to ask them. Jerry don't pay motherfuckers to ask him questions he don't want to answer. You already know that. He'll let you know that quick. Take that pass away, boy. So, Jerry, if you could just go silent, Jerry, that would be great. That would be great for all involved, actually. I think the team will just take off if you just actually be quiet and allow people to do their job. Because once again, under your tenure, we have not been able to build a philosophy. We do not know who we are or who we want to be. On a year-to-year basis, it seems to change. The philosophy seems to change. And I think I can speak for a lot of Cowboys fans where I'm saying we are tired of that. If it would be one thing if we lived and died by a certain way, and hell, we were the best at it. I remember days with like DeMarco Murray, where it was just like we were Travis Frederick, toting that thing on that offensive line. Just, you had the young Zach Martin, young Tyron Smith. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just remember, there was no what kind of Dallas Cowboys you were getting. Yo, shouts out to everybody who knows what I'm saying right now. There was no what kind of Dallas Cowboys we were getting. We were going to run the fucking ball, and then we had Tony Romo and Dez Bryant to make those incredible plays for us. But it was going to be a physical game, one that was won in the trenches. Although we have been investing first-round pick after first-round pick into that offensive line since Travis Frederick has left, we have not been able to be the same offensive line. We have not been able to physically impose ourselves on our competition. Actually, the reverse has been happening on both sides of the line now. Now we can't even stop nobody. So, we need to, build a philosophy up, understand who we are as a team, and, hell would have to, break loose before we stop being who we are. I think that's when Dallas Cowboys has been at their best in my lifetime, when we knew who we were and we did that thing in and out every week, in and out every week. We ran the ball. We imposed ourselves on everybody else. Time of possession, controlled the clock. Not every game has to be a blowout. We don't need to throw the ball for 300 and 400 yards every game. Lastly, to this point, Jerry, listen to the players. When they tell you something, listen to them. Try and see things from the other side. You have never played a down in the NFL. Never. You will not understand where they're coming from unless you listen. That's why we have two of these and one of these. You have to listen to your players. You won't even close the damn curtains. You won't even close the damn curtains. He's out there making a fucking catch, but you telling him he should be able to see through the fucking sun. Close the curtains. I mean, that's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Close the curtains. I mean, that's just a perfect example of how you don't listen to anybody. If it does not fit like he's lying. He was literally in the sun. Like he was lying. That's his fault. He still should have caught it. Would you have caught it? Anyway, the Washington Commanders and Philadelphia Eagles are in the NFC Championship game, and we are not. We are so far from it. But how do we get there? We're not going to get a new ownership. That's out the door. Right? All right. So, in my opinion, the head coach, we got to get that right. We got to get that right. We got a few head coaching candidates. The possibility of Cliff Kingsbury, Brian Flores, Anthony Lynn, Pete Carroll, Kellen Moore, and Brian Schottenheimer. I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna go through this fairly quickly. Brian Flores, defensive coordinator, Minnesota Vikings, former head coach, Miami Dolphins. I believe is a good head coach. I don't think him and Jerry would be a good fit at all. I think he cursed Jerry the fuck out. Cliff Kingsbury, former head coach, Arizona Cardinals, now in the NFC Championship game as the Washington Commanders OC. Interesting. Not sure Jerry will hire him, but I wouldn't hate the hire if he was hired. I think he's actually a pretty good coach. Um, Brian Schottenheimer. I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan. Actually, I want him to go. I'm not even. I was very hurt when I even read the article that he was even thought of. I didn't think highly of him or the job that he's done with his tenure here. I could be wrong, but I would argue anyone who told me different. Kellen Moore, no, I don't want Kellen back. Do we need more of Kellen? No, we do not. No, we do not need more of Kellen. And I'll tell you this, Kellen Moore, another former coach of ours, now OC of the Philadelphia Eagles in the NFC Championship game. But those guys honestly have been running behind Saquon Barkley for the latter part of the season into the postseason. And I haven't seen where Kellen Moore has made an incredible difference as far as the pass game goes. I think it's pretty similar as to what they were doing the year before he even got there, which leads me to believe that Nick Sirianni really has a lot more onto this play calling than people are aware of, or at least has told Kellen we're gonna do things pretty similarly to what we've already done, and that's that. Take it or leave it. I think Kellen Moore coming, and people are not even talking about Kellen Moore tobacco over there in LA with the Chargers. People are literally leaving that out as if that shit didn't even exist. And where did he get Justin Herbert? Another talent who's supposedly better than Dak Prescott, but what's his playoff record look like? So no, I'm not a fan of Kellen Moore at all. I wasn't a fan of the guy here. And lastly, to his point, Kellen Moore, I heard somebody say they had a problem with his play calling as far as the routes. Again, with the there was somebody on the opposite team that they were playing, the Philadelphia Eagles, that said they knew pretty much the routes. That's why they were able to play real up close and physical with them. That once again, he's with these damn curl routes. I'm not a fan of Kellen Moore. Never was. Not going to be. Anthony Lynn. Anthony Lynn, former head coach of he was actually the head coach when Justin Herbert was drafted, shysted out of that position because honestly, where have they been able to do with Justin Herbert before he left? So instead of another organization just showing you, instead of allowing somebody to actually build, they just get rid of you in hopes of they can get better and proving that they have not been able to. Anthony Lynn, I can't really speak on a lot about Anthony Lynn because I have not researched Anthony Lynn extensively enough to sit here and say I'm out on Anthony Lynn. I do think that people think highly of Anthony Lynn. I think that he is a great head coach candidate. I mean, I'm sorry, not head coach, but defensive minded head coach. I think he is. Anyway, like I said, I have not really done a full extensive research on Anthony Lynn, but I would not be mad at maybe a defensive coordinator position. Next is Pete Carroll. Pete Carroll, I am intrigued with Pete Carroll. I think everybody loves Pete Carroll. I think it's hard not to like Pete Carroll, unless maybe you're a Seahawks fan and you were just tired of him. But I do think that he was able to build a philosophy and a culture out there in the Seahawks. We tried to poach. Well, we did poach one or two of their coordinators, and also tried to assemble our defense in resemblance to the Legion of Boom out there in Seattle, which I'm not sure if he had too much to say about the defensive side of the ball, but I do know that he had his hands on the whole team out there. He's a believer in that. He's a believer in developing men. He's also a believer in people doing their jobs. I think he's a highly energized 70-plus-year-old. My only thing about my fear before I actually sat down and thought about it when it came to Pete Carroll or anybody, old head coach like that, is just timing. But I actually think timing with him and Dak actually work out great because I do see Pete Carroll wanting to, especially if it's not like a disaster his first season around, I think that would re-energize him more. I think Pete Carroll is a lifer. I think it'll be hard for Pete Carroll to be like, all right, I'm done. But at the same time, I feel like, you know, Pete Carroll could come in here and do some great things with Dak as far as just organization and leadership, bringing a true philosophy to the team. Who do we want to be? And I think, like I said, he's a cultivator of men, so people will buy into his message very easily. And as far as him and Jerry getting along, they're both elder men. I think they both want to see success in their final years. I think they would know how to talk to each other. I think they have great respect for one another. So I do see that actually working out really great. So if Jerry did come out, listen, anybody but Kellen Moore, anybody but Brian Schottenheimer, and I think I would be okay with for the time being, because Dak is only going to be my quarterback for the next, barring injury. And now going into this season is a concern. For others, it's been a concern. For me, it's starting this season is a concern. I think it could work. But will Jerry do anything to give these fans, this nation, any kind of hope this season? I mean, can we bet on that? Can we look forward to that? Can we say, like, yo, Jerry is going to do all he can, not only during the draft, but in preseason, in free agency, in mid-season? Will he take a look at the team for where we are truly and say, hey, we can get better here, 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 and here? Will Jerry say that? I fucking doubt it. I doubt it. Jerry don't care about nobody but Jerry. Jerry got 5 Super Bowls. Jerry has been inducted in the Hall of Fame as an owner, not a GM. As an owner, has been inducted into the Hall of Fame. He does not care what I think, what any of my counterparts in his social media think, anybody think. Hell, he don't even care what his own reporters think. He lets it known easily, I will get rid of you. So, hey, Jerry, it's all on you, man. As far as will a head coach do much for this team next year? I mean, I have my doubts. Because Jerry is so hands-on with this team. I'm not sure, where the head coach's philosophy starts and where Jerry bullshit ends. I have a hard time separating where those two things meet. So I don't know who he will hire. It's been silent. Maybe tomorrow it'll come out with a couple of more tidbits here and there, drops, maybe some innuendos about who was going to get this job. I think we all really know who's going to get this job. Is Kellen Moore. I think that is probably where Jerry goes, because at this point, everybody is skeptical of Jerry. Instead of thinking of who is the best hire for this team, I think we're looking at who's best suited for this job. And who else is best suited for this job than one of his guys already, where he can use the success that he believes he's gained in Philadelphia and say, this is what'll bring here. But let's also remember this, guys. How many times have we heard Jerry say that he has, without a doubt, believed that Mike McCarthy could have brought us a Super Bowl? Without a doubt, Jason Garrett was the guy to bring Dallas Cowboys a Super Bowl. Jerry don't know who it is that will bring us the Dallas Cowboys a Super Bowl. He does not know that. And the reason why he does not know that is because in order for somebody to come here, do their job, they have to kiss his ass. Not too many grown men out here willing to kiss 70-year-old ass. Pause. Not too many. I'm not one of them. I didn't start this channel to be a Jerry Jones fan. I'm gonna keep it real over here. That's why it's called Real Sports Talk. We keep it real over here. I'm disappointed as a fan. I'm disappointed where this franchise is at. I have zero belief in where it may go next season. Hell, we could turn things around in a season, but I don't think things get turned around in a season. I think things stop being talked about with winning. I think winning is a great cover for a lot of things. I think we could win next season. The same shit be happening under. And you know what? I would take that. I would take that. If that's what you gave me, Jerry, I would take that. If you gave me some postseason success with the bullshit that you're doing, if you were able to do that, that would be great, Jerry. If you were able to do that, but you have not been able to give us postseason success with the bullshit. So keep the side of bullshit and give me the postseason success. If you can give me that, Jerry, I can tell you what, I will make this channel a whole Jerry praise show. I will give you your praise every single episode. Thank the Lord for Jerry Jones. If you was able to give me that, but I doubt that. All the money in the world that you got, you was not able to buy a Super Bowl win. You have not been able to put faith in your coaching staff. You won't even pay them what they're worth. Mike McCarthy gave you 3 12-5 seasons out of 5 seasons, and you still tried to lowball them on a contract talk. You got coaches telling you they'd rather not coach here than what you're offering them. Make that shit make sense when you make the kind of money that you do. Once again, I went to week 3 versus the Baltimore Ravens. I was across the street at the tailgate when you flew your ass over us to get to the stadium. Full of booze. Whole parking lot full of booze, Jerry. I don't know if you can hear us from down there. Probably not, right? Can't hear that shit from up there. And I don't blame you. But at the same time, you're not doing us any favors. You're not doing yourself any favors. You don't have many years left. That's just life. And you're not going out on a bang, Jerry. If you sit back and think what we're going to talk about when you're gone, Jerry, we're going to talk about your latter years and how you fell the fuck off. Young Jerry was on the phone. Fuck the rest of the people on the staff making deals. Making deals, willing and dealing. When you wanted that stadium, Jerry, you made it happen. You made certain moves. You made it look spectacular. You talked it up. You built it up. You built this thing up to what it is, Jerry. You did that. I can't take that from you. I'm not looking to take that from you. I'm trying to tell you as a fan, as a diehard fan of the brand that you built, it's not enough. It's not enough. We need more. We need more. I can't keep going out like this. The Green Bay Packers was not better than us. Was not better than us. The second go around the 49ers, we were even. Game should have been way closer than what it was. We should have won 1 out of 1. We should not be 0-2 versus them in the postseason. It's ridiculous. When it comes to any team over 500, we never come ready to play. That's not only on the coach. When you have your hands on so much of the team, it does not matter who we bring in unless Jerry tells everybody in the building, I'm falling back. It's on y'all now. Till he do that, we're going to be in the same place as we was last year on a fucking couch. But this year, we watching these two make it to an NFC championship game. And I'm telling you, I know a lot of Dallas Cowboys fans are pissed off right now. I know a lot of Dallas Cowboys fans are pissed off right now, and I'm included. I'm included. We are the greatest organization in the NFL. We are the nation. We are the greatest fan base. in the NFL. We are laughing stocks of the league right now. Been laughing stocks of the league right now. Philly, yo, shouts out to Philly. Like I said, shouts out to Washington. Like I said, and yo, next season, they get the first round pick. They gonna have a quarterback in the building. I don't trust what they did organizationally as far as Joe Schoen and Brian Daboll, but them niggas, they got more hope in the building than we do. Make that make sense, Jerry. Make that make sense. Yo, folks, we could really be at the bottom of the damn league, at the bottom of our division next season. Imagine that. Imagine that. Imagine Dak not ready for a preseason. Imagine Dak not ready. Imagine Dak get hurt again. Will we draft the defensive tackle? The world will never know. Mozzie, bust. Bust. He came on, you know, he showed us a little something at the end of the season, but nothing to write home about. Not for where we picked him. There was studs still on the board that's already proven their worth. Tyler Guyton. I mean, we were washed out a little bit, but still, bust. He's taking too long to develop. And they're saying he might even be a right tackle, not even a left tackle now. Seriously? Bro. Schoonmaker over a goddamn running back. Imagine that. Schoonmaker over a running back. Now, running back, to me, it don't matter where we draft them. Use them till they done and draft another one. That's how it's supposed to be. I don't want another Zeke in the building. I want multiple Zekes. I want niggas to run because they know their job is on the line. Next season, they'll bring another one in. Get it out. Replaceable. But to be respected. Understand. A position can be replaceable, but you have to respect the position. Period. You got to respect the position. At the end of the day, I'm going to wrap it up with this. I want to thank everybody for tuning into this episode. Anybody who has showed love to this channel, it is growing organically, not fast at all, but that's not dimming my light at all. I take pleasure in every video that I drop. And I hope that with every video that I drop, it continues to get greater and greater. I'm finding a huge passion in this. Once again, I want to shout out to the people who came before me, a few of those guys that I watched continuously over the years. Law Nation, shouts out to Skywalker Steel and his new podcast, his new show Unleashed. You know, a lot of people, Okoye, Foots, man, a lot of you guys, you know what I'm saying? Rome, shouts out to all y'all. Mark Holmes and the GOAT, Shango, you know what I'm saying? All you guys is great. You guys have inspired me to do this work right here, to come out here and express my voice like that. And right now, nobody really care about my voice, but in time, hopefully it grows. Like I said, one day better every day is a good day for me. So 1% better every day is a good day for me. Forgive me. So yeah, cut me some slack, subscribe, like, and comment to the channel. It's a pleasure. It's been your boy, Run It Up Rule Nation. I hope y'all can appreciate the therapy session. I hope that you guys agree. If you disagree, hop in the comments. Let me know where I messed up at, or give me your opinion on whatever I brought up. Everything is for debate. Yo, it's been real. Love.